Hey friends, Kevin here, and today we're going to talk about whether you can do van life or use your van to go on these long trips and have your adventures if you are on Social Security, whether that's retirement and maybe you don't have a lot of income, or whether that is Social Security disability. Now, this is not my situation. I'm still a working stiff. Knock on wood, I'm still able to work. You never know what health problems and things, though, may come up in the future, so I certainly do not judge anyone. But I have a lot of friends and a lot of people I have met on the road that are either in the retirement situation or they're in the disability situation. So we're going to talk about how they do things and how that may help you out for what you want to do. So let's get to it. Now, you can see I'm in my big van today, and because of the angle the sun's coming through here, it's really cold outside, but the sun is beating in here now, so that I don't have too much glare behind me, I've gone ahead and shut this curtain, and it's fairly quiet where I am. At least I can get outside while it's nice during the day. But let's get back to talking about you and potentially your situation of being able to do van life if all you have is Social Security. Sometimes I think it's even easier for people if they're on a fixed income, because then they pretty much know what they have to do and they're pretty much used to sticking to that budget month after month after month. So sometimes that may actually be an advantage. The disadvantage is if anything goes wrong, you don't have anything much to draw from. So you're going to have to save some money before you go. You're going to have to save some money each month while you're on the road to get your safety net account built up in case something major happens, that you have the money to cover it. Or you're going to have to mess around with something, kind of a part-time gig, something you can do. Maybe it's selling something at flea markets that you make, whatever it is, buying and selling something like we've covered in some videos here, but something to have you a little additional income. That is another option. As long as you enjoy what you're doing and you can make a few extra dollars from it, that's really all that matters. But there are people that I have met on the road and do well, and they may be in the $800 or even less level. But they're very good at controlling their food. They're very good at controlling their fuel. They're not trying to drive across the country back and forth on $800 a month, because you're just not going to be able to do that. So they tend to find places that they can stay and enjoy for longer periods of time. Whereas I tend to be more mobile, and almost every day or two I am changing locations. I am bouncing from here to there to go find something else that I want to explore. Some people are more content, however, just in a more relaxed place, just finding those little places they like and being able to stay in those places 3 days, 5 days, a week, sometimes even up to 2 weeks at a time, and maybe only running out to a close town one time to restock groceries or something. So you've got to get your fuel cost down if you don't have a large income to draw from. But there's a lot you can do in a 50-mile radius. There are going to be things to do. There are going to be little towns to shop in. There are going to be towns that have libraries if you need that for internet access, things for entertainment that you can do inexpensively and be able to stick to that budget. Because other than food and fuel, and if you get in the wrong place and you're having to deal with a lot of heat issues through the winter, to where you would be burning a lot of propane, $3 or $4 a day, $5 a day, whatever, just to try to stay warm. And that's why people tend to move to warmer climate areas that are doing this in the wintertime, so they don't have that expense. But food and fuel are going to be it. So as long as you can control those two things adequately, you don't mind cooking for yourself, you can get by with very little, but you can still make yourself nice meals. You can still end up places where you meet people maybe and you are kind of camped there together, and everybody may get together and do one thing for dinner and everybody share. There's a lot of things that go on, a lot of things that can keep those costs down. Now, if you plan on running out to the restaurants and spending $20 every day, and you only have $800 a month to live on, you're going to have a serious problem. That's just basic math. You already know that. I know that. Unfortunately, I have seen people that try to do that on the road, and it quickly becomes a problem for them. I'm a firm believer in the dollar menu. And I am. When I'm out and about, I'll grab a tea or a coffee, or, I may grab a dollar burger from somewhere if I'm out too long and away, and that's what I'll do. But then I come back. I'm not spending much money. That's how I'm able to do this stuff more inexpensively. And then, I or we, depending on who I'm with, we're doing the major meals in the van. And occasionally, you can go treat yourself to something. As long as you can control the money, there's nothing wrong with that. You're just not going to be able to do that every day if you're on the fixed Social Security income, or if you're like me, you're trying to do things on a budget, you're going to have to make some concessions. But for me, I'm happy as a lark when I'm out and being able to explore and meet new people. So for me, that is well worth the trade-off of trying to stick to a lower budget. You're the only one that can make those decisions of what you're willing to do or trade off. If you're new here, you're going to hear me use the word trade off a lot. What are you willing to trade off? What are you willing to give up in order to have this experience? The same thing with the space that you have in whatever van you have, whether it's a minivan or a cargo van. What are you willing to give up in order to be able to do this in a smaller space without packing that thing so full that it simply becomes unusable and you're miserable and you're spending all your time just moving stuff from place to place to place. So you have to make choices. You have to let some things go. If you're on a limited budget, you may have to let some of the eating out and things go in order to pull that back in line. But if you're thinking about doing this and you are on that limited budget, I can tell you wholeheartedly, 100%, it can be done. Again, a little harder, requires a little more planning, requires a little more sacrifice in the beginning to make sure that you have that safety net account. And that is the big thing, the difference between people that are successful on the road and people that aren't, is being able to have that little bit of safety net. So if you can do those things, you can do really well. If you have any questions about this, something I wasn't clear about, feel free to put it down in the comment section. Let me know. If you personally know someone that is on the road, either full-time or part-time, and able to do this on a low amount of Social Security, let us know that too. Let's kind of compare notes. As always, I want your opinion. Let me know if you think I'm right. Let me know if you think I'm wrong down in the comment section, and why. Don't just say, well, I think you're an idiot. That doesn't clarify anything. If you think I'm an idiot, tell me why. And if there's any ideals, anything video-wise that you think I could do, make a video on that would help you out, I will do my best to do that if you let me know in the comments. Whatever that topic is, if it's something that I haven't done yet, and if I know the answer, I'm happy to make a video on it. And if I don't, I'm happy to go try to find the answer or talk to the people that I know doing this until I find somebody that does have a good, reliable answer and share that with you. If you're wondering what to watch next, click on my name, Budget Travel Guy, under this video. You'll flip over to the page. You'll see all of the recent videos. You'll see videos put into groups so you can find something, whether it's places you want to travel to or buying your first van or van life topics in general. See something there that you will get a benefit from. Watch that next, because that's the reason I make these videos. Everybody stay safe. We'll talk soon.